All right. Happy Tuesday for those watching this relatively live. I feel like I'm now a official podcaster, guys. Check it out. I went to the U.S. and I was able to get some blue light blockers. In all seriousness, spending a lot of time on the laptop with business, everything else that I'm doing, my head would just be throbbing. My sleep was getting messed up. So I'm already seeing results with these in the past 2 days that I've been wearing them when I've been on the laptop. So maybe I'll wear these on every episode in the future if I'm doing it on the laptop like this. We'll see. Just trying to reduce the blue light in the eyeballs over here. And also cut down on caffeine. I've been drinking caffeine like an absolute savage. Uh, I'm excited to get into today's episode. We're going to be talking about how and why I'm living in Colombia. Uh, talk about all the logistics of what got me here, how I'm making it happen, how I'm making friends, just all that. I'm really just going to go off the dome today, just speak some truth about why I wanted to come here. If you're thinking of moving outside of the US because you just want to be treated better, you want your dollar to go farther, maybe Colombia could be an option for you. And I can go over some other areas that I would recommend to be an expat. So, kind of break it down here about, uh, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, I had done a life changing trip in Southeast Asia. So I spent about 4 months in Southeast Asia, and I loved it. I enjoyed having minimal things that I needed. I just had my backpack, and I was staying in hostels. That got a little bit annoying over time, staying in the hostels, but I was young. I didn't really care. I'm not doing that now. And I really fell in love with the growth of emotional intelligence was one big thing. You're constantly meeting people that are challenging your EQ because they're from different parts of the world. The conversations are very different, very unique. The different languages, the moving around in an area that is uncomfortable to you. It's not what you're used to. It's not your routine. A lot of changes. It really made my brain feel good. I felt like my hippocampus was just growing on a daily basis. And I became addicted to it. And when I got back to the US and I started to get into business, I did very well in business, started making good money in business. I was loving that, but I would always get the itch like every quarter, like, hey, let's go travel, let's go enjoy. I want to go to another country. I want to immerse myself in different cultures and learn. I'm just a very curious guy. Maybe you are too that's watching this. Maybe you're a very curious individual. So I was just very curious. So towards the end of my solar career, uh, I say end because I really just lost interest in the interest and love for the solar game. I made decent money, and to get to that next level, it required me to build teams and maybe start a company, which I thought about doing, but I just really had no passion behind it. So I moved forward. And a goal of mine was I always wanted to be 100% virtual so I could live in places like South America, Southeast Asia, wherever I wanted to go. And the reason I chose Colombia and South America really to start would be time zone. Time zone would be the number one thing. Time zone is quite similar to the US. So Colombia, Medellin right now is in central time zone. About 3 weeks ago, it was Eastern time zone. But as the US adapted to daylight savings, Colombia stayed the same. So as the clocks changed in New York, they did not change here. So now it's 9 a.m. in New York, it's 8 a.m. here, which is perfect for me. Really, I do calls all over the US with whatever product or service I'm selling, whether it's for my own coaching business with DreamState or for all the other things that I do for guys like Dan Fleischman and other high level entrepreneurs that I help them scale and sell their products. So, time zone is the big thing. The second thing is Colombia is a very welcoming place. The people here in Medellin, I lived in Bogota for a month, a little bit different there. A little bit different there. Still an amazing place, but without me knowing Spanish, I felt like they were just, dude, like, what the fuck? Get out of here. Get out of here, gringo. I just got that energy a lot. And not saying from everybody in Bogota, but for the most part. But in Medellin, it's different. I feel very welcomed. They're very grateful that I'm here enjoying their beautiful city, which is amazing. So the people are nice. People are welcoming Medellin. As someone who is focused on learning Spanish, people are very willing to help with that. And also, they're curious to up their English. So it's like a trade off. Hey, I'll help you with English. You can help me with Spanish. So making a lot of connections that way. So, third thing I would say is the abundance of other entrepreneurs living in Medellin. Very unique entrepreneurs, similar to me, expat style entrepreneurs that really are just focused on going where you're treated best. They want their dollar that they're making in the US to be spent more. I'm in a beautiful apartment here, not spending much per month. This apartment is a beautiful studio in Laureles, and it was $1,100 for the month. I have I don't have it yet, but I'm speaking with some lady right now. I'm going to be having a maid slash cook coming here, cooking my meals, cleaning things, doing my laundry for probably like an additional $300 to $400 a month, which is nothing. So if you kind of get what I'm getting at, the lifestyle here and the way I'm treated is just a lot more superior. If I wanted to have a beautiful studio apartment like this in a major city in the US and have someone cook my meals, a maid, I'd be looking 10 plus K a month. And I've stayed in really nice apartments in the US, and it's expensive. And I don't mind spending a lot for rent. I don't. But I'd rather my dollar be stretched farther. Obviously, same with you. I'd rather more money go into investments, go back into the business, which is really my focus this year. Is all extra money just back in the business, so I can get it to where I want it to grow. So I guess I kind of intertwine those things, but the other expats, whether it's Americans that are high-level entrepreneurs that are living here for the same reason I'm living here, doing amazing things with their businesses, it's really easy to network here with other high-level entrepreneurs, just depending on where you go. Uh, People from Europe, all over the world are coming to Medellin because it's becoming a really amazing hub for entrepreneurs and expats. And then the rent, it's very, very affordable here for a beautiful place. Now, with that being said, like there are going to be some trial and error with places. For example, the other night I got back from Miami and I booked this Airbnb for a month. I get there, it was completely not what it was explained to be in the description. There was no air conditioner, which it said it had one for me. Daddy needs AC. And there was literally bugs crawling in the bed. I lost it. I didn't lose it, but I was like, no, absolutely not staying here, not even going to give this an option. So I called up Airbnb. We got it handled. Although that night was a bit challenging. I was up till like 1 in the morning looking for places. But at that point, it's like, if this is the most challenging thing I have to deal with, not too shabby. Not too shabby. What happens is people will make a big deal out of something relatively small. Oh, I went to Colombia. I went to Medellin. This Airbnb had bed bugs and there was no AC. It was an absolute mess. I'll never go back there. I need to get back to my beautiful place in Tampa, Florida, where everyone speaks English. If that's you, that's you. Maybe this isn't the best option for you, but if you're adaptable and you're willing to work with some things sometimes, it's like it'll work out in the end. You just might have to deal with some things. Now, one lesson I learned from that was I booked this Airbnb that didn't have reviews. It just looked really good in the pictures and had a good price point. Bad idea. I knew the location was really good. Bad idea. Make sure you're booking a place that has reviews so you can see what other people are saying. A few things that I look for is if people are commenting that it was noisy. I'm a very cautious, light sleeper. Maybe it's my man instincts, but a little click like that, I'm up. So I can't be in a party area. I need to be in a quiet area. That's why I chose Laureles versus El Poblado. There are some nicer, quieter spots in Poblado, but Poblado is really where a lot of expats live. Laureles is absolutely beautiful, a little bit more calmer, and then also Laureles is flatter. I'm currently in ultra marathon training right now, so I have a decent amount of runs per week, and Poblado is a lot of hills, which isn't bad for ultra marathon training, but there's a lot of hills and there's a lot of red lights, stoplights, all this, so it just makes for a very difficult training platform for me with my ultra training. So I chose Laureles. There's also a track here. So my Wednesday speed workouts, I am a mile run from the track. It's a very amazing track. So if you're coming to Medellin, I'd recommend checking out Laureles. If you're kind of similar vibes to me, Poblado is really built more for the Western or the American. And really, really beautiful places in Poblado. Me and my buddy Cody stayed at this absolutely gorgeous high-rise loft in El Poblado. We wake up to birds chirping. You're in the feels like a jungle. You're just looking into the hills. It's freaking gorgeous for that standpoint. But for me, I prefer Laureles, just a little bit more quieter. And then, as I was telling you about my running goals, and then also in 2024, Laureles was voted as the number one walkable neighborhood in the world. I mean, how cool is that in the whole world? And it stands true. This place is gorgeous. Just walking around, I walk almost everywhere. I don't have a car out here. I don't feel like I need one. When I do Uber, the Uber costs me like $2 to $3. Nuts, right? If I Uber to the gym in the morning, the gym's about 3 miles away, 2.5 miles away. $3 Uber there. So $6 round trip. You really can't beat that. Why would I get a car or even a motorbike and have to deal with what have yous there? Another great area in Medellin is Envigado. Um, I haven't been to Envigado yet, but the way that it's been described to me is like El Poblado Laureles is like, okay, you don't speak Spanish yet, but so you can get by. It's a good place to kind of adapt in and know that, like, hey, people understand that there's a lot of gringeritos here, a lot of gringos here, so they're gonna adapt and understand your English. And then Envigado is like getting into expert level. So expert level living in Colombia, you can move over to Envigado, which I guess I'm taking it that route. So I started in Poblado, now I'm in Laureles. Maybe end of year I'll be in Envigado. I had a buddy from the UK live in Envigado for 3 years. Absolutely loved it. So some of my main reasons there, being in a place like Colombia and anywhere outside the U.S. to me, like when people ask me, "Hey, it's like, why are you there? Aren't you lonely? This, Y, and X, Y, and Z." And for me, the number one thing is every day I feel so fulfilled because I know that I'm growing. I know intellectually I'm growing. I know my mind, my brain are being trained because I'm learning a new language. So to me right now, it's very, very exciting to be here. Because of that, I just know I'm growing. I know I'm being challenged on a daily basis. For me, there's also not many distractions, so I can really focus on the businesses and not have to worry about, hey, it's X, Y, and Z's birthday that you really don't want to go to, but you're in town, you live, so you're gonna go, and maybe for you it's important to be a part of those things. For me, they're more distractions, constantly having another party to go to, living back at home. I just like being in my own space, being around people that challenge my growth, and I can continue to scale. And I feel like living here is really that. I get my own space to just focus on my growth. Now, how did I get here? How can you make it work? I guess we'll kind of walk into that now. So, um, I was living in Rhode Island last year. I had a goal to live in South America. I wanted to live in South America for at least a year in my lifetime to try it. I wanted to check that off my bucket list. So I started to research the what, the how, the where, the when, all of that. And it's a lot easier than you might think. So really all you have to do is come to Medellin. You get 90 days on your passport. 90 days right away. So come to Medellin or wherever you want to go, and book a place for a month or two. And then after that 90 days is up, if you still want to come back and you're really enjoying it, you've made a great community, then all you have to do is fly back to like Ecuador or fly back to the US, go say hi to family, what have you, maybe bang out some things, and then come back and you get a fresh new 90 days. Now, I believe there's only a certain amount of times you can do that. Once you get to the point where you know you want to stay here, which I've met a lot of people that have done this, you can get a 5-year visa. It's quite simple to do. So if you really want to stay here for longer periods of time, 5-year visa. What I'd recommend for you to just start out is, why don't you just come here or somewhere else that maybe you've researched or you want to go. Maybe that's Buenos Aires, Argentina, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, uh, Chile, whatever it might be. Medellin seems to be a big hub where a lot of people are checking out. So maybe it could be a good start if you haven't researched before. And just come here and commit to a month or two. And instead of treating, this is where a lot of people kind of fuck up when they travel and try and live an expat life, is they treat it like a vacation. So yes, life is going to be a lot more exciting. You're going to be living in a place that's not familiar to you. It's going to feel like a vacation on a daily basis. But you want to come here and you want to stay true to your habits. So you don't want to fully fuck off all the time, because it's not going to make you feel good for the long run. It might be enjoyable for a week, but after you're going to be, oh, I want to get back home and I want to get back into routine. That's just like the man instincts, or even as a female, it's instinctual that we want to accomplish things and goals in our life. So you really want to make sure you come here and you stay true to purpose. So you stay true to your routine. You're not fucking off every night, staying out till 1, 2, 3 in the morning, waking up at 11, because that might be enjoyable, but it's not going to last. So come here and stay true to your routine. Surround yourself with people that are also doing that. Because when I traveled back in 2018, I was only meeting people that were also just boozing and relaxing and chilling and backpacking all the time, going on excursions every day, because that's what I was doing. That's what I attracted. Now I'm focused on growing my businesses. I'm focused on health. I'm focused on personal development. So I'm attracting those type of people into my life. Kind of makes sense there. And I had other people ask me about, like, hey, how do you meet people? Doesn't everyone speak Spanish? Yeah, most people speak Spanish. I'm like kind of dating a girl right now that doesn't speak English. And to me, it's fucking fantastic. Quiet nights. I'm just kidding. It's fantastic because it's helping with my growth of Spanish. Going out to dinner with this girl and having to speak Spanish the whole time, and she speaks as good of English as I do Spanish. So we're kind of going back and forth, and it's really beautiful experience. It's like the universal language, and it's all about energy. And I just simply met this girl while I was at a fitness event. I went to a fitness competition. She was hanging out. I was like, "Hola, cómo estás? Tu practicar CrossFit?" Because we're at a CrossFit competition. And from there, it's just as normal as picking up a girl in the US with English. It's very simple. But what you don't want to do is, and maybe this would work in some cases, but what a lot of Americans do, they come here and they go out at night and they're meeting those type of girls in bars. That's where you're going to find the girls that are really after like your money. There's been a lot of crazy stories here in Colombia about these girls drugging white guys and stealing all their shit. Like it's happened many, many times, but it's because of the environment you're in. Like if you're going to go out boozing all night, you're bound to come across people that are going to take advantage of that in your altered state of mind. But if you're going to yoga classes, you're going to CrossFit classes, you're going to the track, and you're meeting people that way, you're in cafes, you're meeting people that way, it's a more genuine, organic way to meet people. And this is where you're going to meet solid people, solid relationships. You're not going to meet girls that are just after your money. And I mean, maybe, but the likelihood is less going out in these type of environments. And then outside of meeting females, and that's just a lesson in general. Like you got a cold approach, man. If I'm speaking to a man right now, and even a female, like females, cold approach too. But if you see someone you like, no matter where you are, there's no reason that you shouldn't go up and say hello. Like, as a society, men have grown so weak. Men have grown so weak that they're afraid to go up to a chick and say, "Hey, you're absolutely gorgeous. Just want to introduce myself." Or, "Hola, ¿cómo estás? Estás muy bonita. ¿Tienes WhatsApp?" I don't know much, but hey, you're freaking beautiful. Do you got WhatsApp? Because once I got Google Translate, I'm a little bit more smoother over here. And you'll start to learn through these experiences. Because if you can approach a girl that speaks fluent Spanish and you can have the confidence to figure it out, it's going to give you immense confidence of approaching a girl that just is speaking English. It's like, hey, I picked up a girl that I didn't even speak her language. I can definitely pick up a girl that I can speak her fucking language. So it's going to give you immense confidence in that area. And then also networking with like men and other relationships. Like, I like to meet people in gyms. So it's like, yo, what's up, brother? You're a white dude. Where you from? Or de donde eres? Where you from? Oh, Argentina. Oh, okay. Habla inglés? Oh, no, okay. Yo español un poquito. Uh, uh, yo tengo mucho practicar. Whatever it may be. And you can make relationships on who you want. But you got to treat like even picking up like male relationships is similar to picking up a female, where if you see someone that's cool, like in a coffee shop, it's like, hey, what's up, brother? How you doing? And you come up with good energy. Like, what's going on, my man? How you doing? And this is going to translate to so many amazing areas in your life. You're going to be a better networker. Because right now you probably have a group of people that you see and you're around all day in your life. So you're not needing to add into this group because you're having trouble keeping up with these relationships. But are these relationships challenging you? Are they making you be a better person? Are they expanding your horizons? Or are they just keeping you stuck? Because you might have an amazing network right now. That's fantastic. Or maybe you want to add a couple more people into that network. And this is just a good way to do it. Just make yourself uncomfortable. You don't need to move to Colombia to do this. You can do this in whatever town or state or city you're in right now. So, a few advantages there. What else did I want to talk about? I like just riffing it on these podcasts sometimes. I made a goal that I was going to do these every Tuesday. And today I'm on a 48-hour fast right now. I'm about 40 hours in, so I'm a little bit loopy. I did a crazy workout this morning, which was so fucking difficult. But I realized that I had to record my podcast today. I have an exciting one coming up planned with a guy that I'm excited to share it with. I got a couple of these that are more planned out, but I want to stay true to doing these every Tuesday. So sometimes I'm just going to hop on here and just riff it and just talk about some interesting shit that's interesting to me. So we kind of broke down the how, right? You need your business to be virtual because you're not going to come here and sell papaya on the streets. It's just not going to happen. So you need your business to be virtual. Now, if you're in a job right now that you don't like, there's so many opportunities that you can work from online these days. Sales is the best thing that you can do. Sales is just the easiest thing because you can get proficient at sales. You'll never not have a job. And if you have Wi-Fi and you're proficient in sales, you'll be set forever no matter where you are. So I would recommend get proficient at sales and find some type of sales job that you can do from your laptop. And then once you have that, you got to not overthink the process. People think it's like, oh, I need X amount of saved here. I need to sell my car. Dude, I got a Tesla Model 3 sitting in my mom's garage right now that I'm paying the note for. I don't care. It is what it is. I canceled the insurance, and when I get back and I use it one day, I'll refire that insurance up. You don't need to sell your shit because what if, like, I was here and I had a brilliant idea of I'm going to go move to Martha's Vineyard in the Northeast, and I'm going to start selling Chianti in Martha's Vineyard. I got a car over there, so I can at least move that. Oh, what a cool bird. So I can at least move forward and do that. Now, I obviously don't want to do that, but it's just don't burn, like, Don't feel you need to burn all your boats. Now, make it make sense. So get out of your apartment that you're in. Put your shit maybe in a storage unit. But you don't need to overthink it to the point of like, oh, I need to sell my car. I need to do this. I need to do that. No, dude, just come here. Just come here. Go wherever you want to go and just start living. Maybe you need to put a couple things on credit in the meantime. Well, you're young right now and you're going to figure it out, because the more you wait, you're always going to be waiting. You're never actually going to take action. If a goal of you is to live outside the US in your youth or in your life, you need to do it now. You need to do it now. I see so many people. It's like, oh, I'm going to do it when I make 1 million. I'm going to do it when I get to this point in my life. I'm going to do it once I have this, that. You know what's going to happen? You're probably going to meet an amazing woman and you're going to have kids and you're never going to do these things. And later in your life, you're going to feel resentment towards this amazing woman because it's like you're going to subconsciously feel like she stopped you from living out your dream or your goals, which isn't true. You stopped you. But you're going to feel inside like, oh, now I have these kids. I have this. I can't go do what I wanted to do because I have all these responsibilities. So you need to do it now. Be grateful for where you are and the state of life that you're in, and just go start living your dream. Stop waiting for things to be perfect. Come with us to Peru in August. I'm taking a group of people to hike Machu Picchu. Come taste what it's like. Like, enjoy your life, enjoy the process. Put yourself in situations that are uncomfortable, because it's going to lead to such a beautiful life, and it's going to lead to you being such a more interesting individual. I was just at a mastermind in Miami. It was called the 100 Million Mastermind Experience. There was extremely high net worth guys: Garrett J. White, Cody Sperber, Vina Jetty, Dan Fleischman, David Meltzer, just big names that I'm shaking hands with and rubbing shoulders. When I'm talking to these people, one thing that separated me and made me interesting is, oh, where are you from, Ethan? I grew up in Rhode Island. I live in Medellin, Colombia, though. Every single person gave me like a one of those. And they addressed me as, oh, that's the dude that lives in Medellin. That's the dude that lives in Colombia. And it became very interesting to these people because I was different. I was different. So when you do these bold things in your life that are a little bit out of the ordinary, it doesn't mean you're going to live here forever. But it's going to be a season of your life that is a little bit different. It's going to give you immense emotional intelligence, life experience. It's going to make you more interesting. You know who people like to buy from? You're by the way, even if you don't sell anything, you're selling something. You're always selling something. And people like to buy from other interesting people. At the end of the day, people like to buy from interesting people. Relationships. Girls want to be with interesting dudes. Dudes want to be with interesting girls. It's just what it is. It's like, oh, what'd you do in 2025? Oh, I lived in Argentina for a few months just to try it out. Really? Oh, you are probably an interesting dude. Wow, I just realized that my acne cleared up from doing this fast. That's fantastic. Another benefit of fasting. It just cleans up everything. Let's freaking go, baby. Woo! So you're just going to be an interesting individual. And it doesn't mean you have to live here for a few months. Maybe you just come and visit, but do things in life that make you interesting. You're going to stand out in networking environments. Because even if you're doing amazing things right now, maybe you don't feel really fulfilled. And maybe if you were to move and switch environments, you would feel fulfilled. So that's pretty much all I got today. Just want to share a little bit of my experience in Colombia so far, how you give you some practical tips about getting out here. If you have any questions for me, shoot them in the comments. I'll get back to you guys. DM me on Instagram, EthanTryX. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next podcast. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and drop a comment on the channel. I look forward to bringing some seriously amazing guests over time as I continue to meet amazing people in my life and I grow this experience. I get more familiar with the platform. I will have more competence to bring these type of people in. It's one thing I almost regretted last week being at this network. I had successful people say, hey, how can I serve you, Ethan? It's like, oh, come on my podcast. So lesson learned there. We will get some amazing people in the future. But blessings, guys.